Okay, everyone, we are back. And when I edit the video, I will insert pictures of the cards we pulled on the next slide. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see those cards, and then you can pause the video and let your own intuition guide you. And then you can continue on to see or hear what we gleaned, what we intuited, and how we read the cards. So the first question was, what practice will help me hold center during these changing times? And the card we pulled was the Eight of Swords reversed. So we said a few things about the Eight of Swords. We said that we liked that the card was, we certainly liked that the card was reversed rather than upright, because we certainly don't want to have the practice of binding ourselves and being surrounded by swords as a practice to help us hold together. But with the card being reversed, we said that instead of being bound, with it reversed, we are unbound and freed. We aren't trapped. And because the swords represent thoughts, being trapped, instead of being trapped by our thoughts, we said that this card meant we were open-minded. And then we also identified we worked on the eight, and we said the eight represented abundance and turned on its side, infinity. So one of the practices might be to stay in our body and breathe. Air, with Aquarius being an air sign and swords representing the element of air, how important air was. We also said that clearly this woman with her blindfold on, she's going inside, and so she's focused. And so with it being upside down, our practice might be to focus with a positive attitude, walk the talk, even when times are tough. And then Anna Marie, would you like to share your thoughts on 7 being related to completion and 8 being the start of something new?
Yes, thank you. That was my understanding of the numbers, and that's why it had meaning to me. And in terms of, because the snowy times we're in right now, because I'm in Western New York with snow, I'm snowbound. The practice that came to me was possibly learning how to walk in snow and ice and not being fearful. And with the swords pointing down, that just felt like grounded, like I didn't have to fight that fear anymore, that I could, the swords being down, those pointing things would be, going into the ground, the ice, the snow. And then I think you, Mary Beth, mentioned about things you can put on your boots to help that process. And I also was thinking about those poles that people can use when they're, walking in unstable ground. So that meant a lot for me.
Thank you, Anna Marie. And another thing that you said that I really liked is you said that swords in and of themselves represent fighting, and with it being upside down, maybe the fight is over, and maybe we're heading towards peace. And yeah, so we all did that. That was really great. And then also this the card right side up, you would be in a place of fear. This woman is in a place of fear. She's trapped. And with it being upside down, we said she's unbound. And this idea of like the opposite of fear, which would be love. And she's in red. Red represents love or vitality or life, with blood being life-giving and blood being red. So there's that idea of action, taking action. So another practice to help me hold center during these changing times, instead of being bound and feeling trapped, is to physically move, like red is action. And that ties in with what you were thinking too, Anna Maria, is that idea of taking a walk in nature, even in the cold, wintry months where there's a lot of snow and ice, finding a way to do that. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed a page of notes from going back to the last question about the Eight of Swords with the water being on the ground. We talked about was the water receding, or and there was like water behind her. So I think we had a visionary that said the resolve of global warming is reflected in this card being upside down. So that was an Aquarian that's on this call that doesn't like to necessarily speak up, but she is a visionary, and her prediction is resolving global warming. We also talked about the water representing emotions, and it's receding and coming in and back, so it ebbs and flows. So the practice might be to remember that this too shall pass, or to go with the flow, or just accepting our emotions and remembering that they come and they go. So now moving on to the second question, what frequency will I claim during these changing times? So let's see, what did we say? Anna Maria, you associate the number 7 with completion. So would you like to share your thoughts on this this what frequency, how do we answer this question? What you saw in the card, the 7 of Pentacles, that could help answer this question, what frequency will I claim?
Well, I reversed my numerology thinking from the 7 completion, 8 new beginning, to when you mentioned how the numbers relate to the cards, the tarot cards.
Mhm.
And what I really got out of that is patience.
Yeah, the garden, right? When you
Yeah,
grow a garden, you
yeah,
need
yeah.
patience.
You mentioned that, and I was like, oh, patience.
Yeah.
Because when you are a visionary and you know, or you believe, or you see, and you want change to be effective, and you want people to move towards that change, as you talked earlier in this class about, healthcare and global warming, as you mentioned, and different, social issues. Being a humanitarian, it's sometimes extremely frustrating for our slow growth process as a nation. But going back to originally is what I was really feeling, and for my own self, well, yeah, I guess it's the same, one and the same, right? Is being patient with myself and with the process of
Yeah.
change.
Yeah, it starts with us. And one thing that I will say that I didn't say earlier, with Pluto changing signs into Aquarius, Pluto has been in Capricorn, which is an earth sign. Capricorn, the earth signs are of the 4 elements, that's the densest and it's the slowest moving. Like try and dig a hole, right? Try and dig a hole in the ground. The earth is slow. This the slowest, it's the densest, it's the heaviest. Water would be the next slowest. So those two elements and the related signs, each sign is tied to an element. So the earth and water signs go together, but fire and air also go together. And fire and air are the faster moving signs. Like fire moves, fire is the fastest, and then air is also very fast. So with Pluto moving into the air sign of Aquarius, I mean, we still certainly need to be patient, but things are going to move much more quickly. And not only is Pluto changing signs into Aquarius, but next year, I think it's next year in 2025, Uranus, which is another outer planet, will be moving from the earth sign of Taurus into the air sign of Gemini. Again, air, faster. And the other, the third, the three farthest out planets are Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Neptune is currently in Pisces, a water sign. It's moving into Aries, a fire sign. So our three outer planets, which the energies of those planets are, because those planets are so much further out, we call those the transpersonal planets. And we call them that because they move so slowly that generations of people are born with in that sign. So the people being born now for the next until 2042, they're all going to have Pluto in Aquarius. So that generation is going to be the Pluto in Aquarius generation. And Uranus has it's not as slow moving as Pluto. Uranus has like, it was about, I think it's about eight, I can't remember. It's less than Pluto, and Neptune is also less, but they're slow moving. So people born for a number of years, they're going to have that planet in that sign. So these three planets are all moving out of the slower moving signs, the slower moving earth signs into earth and water, and they're moving into fire and air. So patience, yes, but also hang on to your hat because things are going to speed up. So thank you for bringing that up, Anna Marie. I wanted to mention that. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
The other thing somebody noticed was in the Seven of Pentacles, what frequency will I claim during these changing times? They noticed the blue sky, and we all like that because the blue sky means that there was no clouds in the sky and certainly no snow in the sky. So that the frequency of blue skies, holding that vision of blue skies. Jupiter or Sagittarius, whenever I do the Sagittarius call, we talk about the power of just looking up and looking at the blue sky. The sky is the most vast thing we have to look at. And so just holding that frequency of looking up. In fact, I'm taking another class, a very interesting class on intuition, and we were practicing a meditation, and she invited all of us to just notice if our head was down when we were meditating and our chin was down, and she invited us to lift our chin up, to lift our chin up. And that would help us stay connected to that higher power. Okay, so that was a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody on the call, for your input. Everyone inputted today, which was really fun. Everybody saw something, and there's no right or wrong way to do this. This is for you. And when you do it in a group, it's really fun because we play off of each other and we inspire each other to see things that we hadn't seen before. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to join us live next month, please be sure to sign up on our website and get notified of the call. All right, so now I think we just have one more slide. Yeah, so tell me, what is it you plan to do with your wild and precious life? These times, they are changing and we are creating a new world. We are all visionaries. We all have Aquarius in our chart. So we get to imagine the world we want to see. And we're going to do that by holding on to fresh frequencies, watching our thoughts, watching our actions and our words, watching how we're vibing. And that is our presentation for tonight. Our call next month will be on Thursday, February 15th, instead of Wednesday. And it will be about the fishes, Pisces. That's the last sign of the astrological year. So that'll be a special call. Thank you again for watching. Please check out our website. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. This call will be posted on YouTube, and you can check out the Aquarian call from last year because it's pretty much an evergreen call. I may have touched on something specific, but there may be some. There's so much to say in all of these calls, and I don't like them to go on and on forever. So you can check out last month's call. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.